वित्त मंत्री अपना एक बयान दे रही हैं, पहले उनको सुनते हैं फिर आएंगे जेके पेपर पे।
I'm setting before you my little expectation from this 3-day session, but I'll also place before you those concerns which are in my mind even as I talk. Globally, we don't need to hesitate any longer to say the multilateral institutions, not just banks, development banks, but even otherwise, whether it's the UN, the Security Council, or any other, WHO, WTO, are less than effective from where they were made into institutions, from at the point when they were brought in. The level of effectiveness by their intervention that they were to bring in the global scenario is today at less than ideal position. Now, because they've become less effective, we've reached a stage where what we took for granted is no longer to be taken for granted. We thought that if there is a disruption somewhere, the WTO would come into play. If there is a huge big pandemic, the WHO would come to play. Similarly, in developmental agenda of different countries at different levels of development, there would be timely and periodic interventions with which you will see some change with the spirit of inclusiveness, so that less developed countries will also have some traction towards achieving their aspirations. But we find that less effective in all across the board in all these institutions. So that's one factor that we keep before us, and in that I'll begin by thanking Larry Summers and N.K. Singh for having come up with some kind of a document which all of us can use, in which I can see Nick Stern and others here who have all participated to, in a very short period of time, apply their mind and come up with something which the G20 has appreciated, welcomed, and now it has tasked one of its own group to go into how the recommendations can be put to action. So the Brazilian presidency next is going to have to take that task on. But with the G20 members all being on board in one voice, you have a good task cut out for the next presidency. But that underlines the fact that everyone agreed.
वित्त मंत्री क्या बोल रहे हैं हमने नीचे बाकायदा नीचे आपके लिए लिख दिया है ताकि आप सुन भी रहे होंगे और आपको नीचे हिंदी में लिखा हुआ आ रहा है कि वित्त मंत्री क्या बयान दे रही हैं।